In progress.
It's recording now? We'll just leave it. Forget it. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that like that. They're just gonna have to clip it. And I clean off the camera with my dress. So is this the camera? Okay.
Yes. I want to see something here.
What you want to see, Rams?
Good.
Yeah, we just need to clean it off real quick. Did you hear that?
No, I'm trying to like, where can we put it so it's like this, so it's like looking up. This needs to,
Do you want to put it up there?
no, that's worse. I'm thinking about like.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to unplug this.
What was that? Somebody got champagne?
Oh,
You put some music on it. What you doing, girl?
I can't, I gotta do it on this side of her. Yeah, can you shift?
This is also plugged into the wall.
Yeah, you're good right here.
Okay, that's right. I'll play some of that Billie Eilish. And you see what Ozzy Osbourne said about her before he left her? He's still alive? He dead? Yeah. He died like a couple weeks ago. He said, what the is a Billie Eilish? It's purring. It's purring. Y'all like that? Y'all think I could sing, really, don't y'all?
You did a good job.
Exactly. Like I really miss my part in David. Um, clean top. I guess 2025, the music been sucking this year though. I don't want to watch no videos. I just want the music to play. Here. And then get her to those. Is it playing on some pictures? No, it's not true. I think that's oh yeah. Yes, I was at somebody. Third one out. So we got my self under it and out. Self under it. Self. What this? What? Every once in a while, maybe just depends like on the time, you know, and share meetings and there. I'm at sleep, when sound with it. Anybody who likes it, catch it, makes it so fun. But that was true.
Every dog breed has unique needs. From Frenchies to labs to poodles and more. That's why Royal Canin makes over 60 breed-specific formulas tailored to meet your dog's needs. And now get a $15 coupon on your next purchase when you spend $30 on Royal Canin food. Anything for PetSmart. Anything for pets.
Inside to love your kindness. Wherever you go, that's where I'm from.
Sure, is it very likely that the production like? Summer. Okay, fine. I did not know that she needs to be required. This slide placement, thanks. Don't put everything that you're doing is gonna be on. Yeah, do not. So right here, she's not doing it. She's doing it to help you. No, that's something new that's right here shortly first. She just learned out of the bathroom. So this video, good. Good. All right, so this talks about Why not? So. This. You do it right, or you don't. It's so supposed to be doing this. All the changes, so I need reference. Or new, or almost 80s. So. Got it? Alright. Lunch in the back, you wanna grab, you can start in 2 minutes. How are you? Just stop. Okay. It's fine, it's good. Do you not want me to? He's. I too, yeah, so. That's what. Okay. Yeah. Also, there's a bunch of saying that you try to make that schools to drop it. Oh, I got to. Here.
Triple WBC with happy to Sophie can't be some. Like small daily deals at 4% off. Bobo and Bob Halloween candy and volleyball.
Jamie's like, just reading.
How hot is that? It's target for Saturday. Jack. You know, first thing we look at, I can buy so let's see where Johnson Moore at applecard.com. That's not going to right? Do that, yeah.
Equals we are. Yeah, that. Better get some food if you have. I'm thinking it was truck. You do? I like the whole out. Really? She's well. She might. She's. Really true. He's got. Some Krispies.
They're very sweet about
Give me a second to make sense. Awesome. What happened?
So, they don't know, so I think it's. No, like, yeah. So, just like we want to leave my time on, so I can just. You know, very. Of course, I'm the, and hey, that's a good. Well, keep that in your VIP list, so the phones in one month, you can see it. That's awesome. So, they're the next tool in the blog. And. Like, that's all. The two baby ones you can bring.
Oh, happy to see so contracted to some small details that we talk. You'll go hang on YouTube. Well, maybe it's some things that is that. His times are always sad.
Sure, surprising almost. Yeah, some one of the surprise. And I keep saying, I'll go, I'll go. It's like, okay, well, that's awesome. That was so already. It starts to pass the last 3 minutes.
You wanted to go through, it's just this way. So, it's been a while, and now I'm like.
Yeah, so it's funny, cause when I go to my GP, he's always like, well, how's that, you know, I'm trying to exercise or whatever, and I told my friend, I always say, well. We're just, you know, right, she's not that, right, I got one, it's a number. I'm Julie. Nice to meet you. Okay, I dropped stuff in you. It's a good place for it. Okay. Fabulous. What's great. Happy. We're having another. No. Alright. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just been that. Yeah, yeah, so. We're motion. Nice to meet you. Yeah, just came from, I just moved here. Yeah, can you get me your memorial?
It's just one other person.
What are you feeling about it?
Practice. So I'm not being much. We will need to talk about I was just going all the way to my, this color, and it stands for culture, and it has health. Yeah, you look at my own company. We get transactional because it's that important to us. I feel like every term we get, it's almost like a time, right? And we know how good that Kennedy Cares is doing. We want to make sure that every single transaction that we have, that we are contributing to that. And it's not something that is out of sight, out of mind. We talk about it, we realize that that contribution is going out with every transaction we do, so it kind of pushes us to do those transactions. When I watch some videos where they bring in one mega can, I know that I have had a part in that.
Well, let's give it a hand. What a beautiful day. Thanks for being here. Real quick on KW Cares, because many of us who have been at KW for a long time have seen KW Cares at work. One that really comes to mind recently is Asheville, right? And the amount of support that community from KW Cares received was unbelievable, and they could not have survived without it. There were trucks coming in, the whole 9 yards, people through the company going. I know a couple of buddies from Myrtle Beach, we took stuff up. I mean, it was unbelievable, all through KW Cares. And let's make no mistake about it, we live in a place where there's a lot of hurricanes, I hear.
Can I
Right.
interrupt?
Yeah, please.
Because we have someone live right here to tell a personal story. Catherine, this is Catherine. So I just embarrassed her, but she has a real life story from Hurricane Harvey. Want me to get up? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Catherine. So I just moved here from Houston 4 months ago, and in 2017, I lived in Katy, about an hour and a half away from the coast, so I didn't have to worry about hurricanes or flooding, did I? And then Harvey came, and so we had 2 feet of gunk in our house. Everything was destroyed. We had no warning, so all of our stuff was just gone. And we just walked out with a backpack and my dog in a swim vest, and that was it, really. And so we didn't know what to do, where to go. Our team leader in Houston took us in. Actually, we spent the night there, and he already started making phone calls. So I got a call from somebody at KW asking, like, okay, so do you have a rental car? And I'm like, yeah. What'd you rent? So I told him, and then they said, well, where are you gonna stay? I said, well, we can book Van Zant for a week. And then I don't know, we'll probably stay in one of my listings. And so they called me back and said, just give me your bank account number. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. That was KW Cares. So within 24 hours, I paid for 2 weeks for my rental car and a week in a hotel. Then when we finally made it back to the house 2 weeks later, KW in Dallas sent a bus over with like a full bus of people to muck out my house, to, pull out the drywall, pull everything out. Diana Chikosa was still with us, and she had a warehouse in Houston full of stuff, generators. And I didn't even know what I needed because I haven't been in my house yet, but KW was there. They had little shopping carts. And somebody walked with me and said, you probably need this, you probably need that. It was like being in a grocery store, and it was paid for by KW Cares. We had a lot of damage, probably about $150,000 worth of damage, which we were not prepared for because I didn't have flood insurance, because I was gonna flood. And so we filled out a grant, and we had to do a lot of paperwork. They want to know everything about you, but oh my God, the help that I got from KW was just unbelievable. It was life changing, and therefore I will never be with another company. So please.
It's things like that that makes 5, 10, 20 bucks off of a closing. No. Right? Stories like that. And there are all across, we have one in our ecosystem. There are individuals in our ecosystem who have had challenging times here in Charleston, where we've gone to KW Cares and gotten grants for them in times of, right? And it's happened more than once or twice, sometimes 3 times a year. So every dollar matters, and shoot an email to me, to the operations team. We can help you set up the transactional giving on all of your closings, and give to your own needs. $1 to 100, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you feel like makes sense at the time. And it makes it really easy right on the commission tab, right? Right on all this. The commission, right?
Other than,
Not the green sheet.
minimum is $5. Sorry,
Okay, not $1, but $5.
sorry.
So definitely jump into that. And thanks again, Catherine. So the vision, we believe in creating an authentic environment built on the foundation of productivity and collaboration to inspire our people to achieve their business goals and design their legacy worth leaving. I just love this. I've talked about it in the past when it all came to fruition. But we're doing really big things here toward the end of the year. You're going to hear about some of them. And I'm really excited about kind of some of the things we're turning or changing based on some of the feedback we got. We're always here. The leadership team here is literally here to serve this group, the agent body. And we're always adapting, always trying to create new things. So you're going to hear a lot about that. Can't do great things without great partners. I'll get it.
Laura Baker.
Thanks.
Like it, like.
Laura, tell us about what you do.
I am in property management, so I'm with Happy Homes. We are a local veteran-owned property management company. Our main office is in Charleston, and my main reason I'm here today is that I want to partner with realtors that want to be our referral partners. We don't do sales at all, so that means that any client that you bring to us, we give right back to you. Plus, every single tenant that actually rents the home that you refer to us, eventually is going to become a homeowner. So besides giving you the referral back, you get an additional source of potential clients. We want to be an extension of your business. We want to keep your client happy. And ultimately that comes down to our 3 Ps. One of them is protection. You guys engage day to day with trusted lenders, trusted closing attorneys, home inspectors. You have to have a trusted property manager that takes off the liability off your hands in case that you are trying to help your client manage their rental property. While we want to deliver high quality services to make sure that we keep your business and keep your clients coming back to you and referring you guys to their friends. The second P is pipeline. We are an incubator of leads. We have tenants that are looking to be homeowners. One big thing, we almost pre-qualify the tenant for you. Our minimum credit score requirement is 650, which means that when they move into our homes, there is just one more step until they're ready to purchase. And I love to refer clients of ours, tenants of ours, the realtor that I can trust. So that's the circle I'm looking to build. And the third part is paycheck. Everyone loves making money, right? And does nobody? Okay. All right. Well, for every door that we sign, that you refer us and we sign them, you get $500. So let's say you refer us a fourplex. That is $2,000 in your pocket. And of course, we have a small referral fee if you bring up the tenant as well. But our goal is for Happy Homes to grow our portfolio, to be a known property management company here in Charleston, because we love to take care of our clients and your clients as well. And you saw the picture of our team previously. So we have right now a team of 9 that we are looking to expand as much as we need to. We manage about 300 doors, Class A and Class B properties. So we are looking for owners that love their home and they want to make sure that it stays in good condition. Whenever you have a property owner that is looking to sell, but the property is not like, it's not the case here in Mount Pleasant, but if you're going up towards Somerville, you're going to see properties stay on the market a little bit longer. If you have a client that is debating to rent it, we can run a complimentary rental analysis, give them options, make sure that they are taken care of if they choose with that to go that way while they're waiting for the market to pick back up and for them to be able to sell the house. And what's the last one? Sorry.
You may move this thing?
That's not slide.
Okay. And we also work with investors. I know that we have a lot of investors that we work with in downtown Charleston. They are always wanting to purchase. They always are looking for realtors. So I'm looking for realtors I can refer them to, specializing in downtown. So any of you, catch me after this meeting. But ultimately, if you work with investors and you have a listing, we provide estimated ROI, we provide them with a rental estimates. That's why you can include that in your listing package. It just looks better if you have something additional showing how much the property is worth as an investment if you're listing one. And that's about our scope of work. We offer 3 services really. That's gonna show in the last slide. We have a full service property management part, which is a 12-month lease unfurnished. We do mid-term rentals. They are location specific. They are 30-day plus rentals. And we also do only tenant placement. If you know somebody that only wants a good tenant, I hear that a lot with new builds. Somebody purchasing a new build and they want a tenant because there's no maintenance to be done. They just want a tenant placement. So yeah, we can fit most of the needs. We don't do short term and we don't do sales, but anything else, if you want to partner with us, if you think that we will be a good extension to your business and you see value in what we can provide, just you have my contact information in front of you. Reach out. I would love to have another lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kenny, what's next? New faces in the room. Did he-
Gratitude yet, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do gratitude yet. Go ahead. All right, gratitude. I want gratitude. I'm thankful for Alan. Who has somebody that has maybe helped them in the last month, last week, last day, that you just want to thank, fill their bucket, or maybe you had a huge win recently that you've been working on for a while? Who wants to say, give me a bucket fill? Oh,
For Holly, she does so much, I think, for us, keeping to technology and what she's doing on Canva is so helpful, and beneficial to our business.
give Holly a hand. You haven't gone to one of her AI course, classes or the Canva classes about how to utilize the partnership of Canva and KW? Make sure you go. Anytime you want something around technology, integration of technology, or really just access to the resources at KW, go to Holly, Kristen, the leadership team. It's there. The challenge is we just sometimes don't know where it is. Holly's a great resource, so I love that. Thanks, Michelle. Who else? Give me another. That's a 1 p.m.
I'd like to thank our agent Cynthia for being on maternity leave. These 2 huge transactions she's juggling. She needs a babysitter. So if anyone knows of someone trustworthy around Wagner Terrace, I mean, she's been fantastic juggling. And I know that you've juggled
Yes.
babies before. It's hard. And she's come up with wins.
One of the coolest things to piggyback on that is I was just forwarded an email and I heard about it yesterday. And it was another agent in the market, the top agent in the market, that spoke the world of a transaction they just did and completed with Cynthia. So let's give Cynthia.
Oh, no. You got one she completed yesterday.
Yep.
And you remember Louise Sad?
Yeah.
She used to be a Delaware.
That's the gentleman.
She wrote an amazing testimonial about Cynthia, which that floored us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So juggling all that, still providing an amazing agent experience and consumer experience. So let's give her another.
I'm just grateful that Matt Brander's here from Naperville, Illinois. He's part-time here and part-time KW, which is fun to have other KW agents from around the country. And then Catherine Van Zupen, who is new to Charleston, but was in Houston for a while, KW, but she's here in Charleston now. So again, she's back.
Great to have you. Anybody else have one?
I actually was gonna say one for Susie, for bringing the luxury watch party to the market center. It's such a phenomenal moment for us, and that was what that's from her, so. it's
Tremendous opportunity in that space. It's good.
November 6th, look for the invite, November 6th downtown, we're gonna be at Boisterous, a really cool shop downtown, just talking luxury, so come on.
Awesome. November 6th. Really cool shop downtown. Go.
Got that purse, got this purse here.
That's a beautiful person.
Go
Go ahead.
I have a gratitude moment for Jan. She's always around the office and, she brings a certain pizzazz to the office. She's always like giving people candy. She brought this big ghost that's scaring all of you. And she loves the office and she pours into it and it's really appreciated. So thank you, John.
Any more? Man, we were really rolling there for a second. It's awesome. All right. So we know Catherine's new. Who else is new to the brokerage over the last, let's call it 30 or 60 days? Can you introduce yourself? I'm gonna put you right on the spot. I'm Vince.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Adelaide Brown. I just joined last week. Over to getting to know everyone and doing some BS together.
Anybody else?
Don't be shy.
That's awesome. Congrats. Are you in K score?
Yes.
That's all. What's your name?
Mimi,
Amy. Amy, welcome. Okay. What's you got? All right.
I'm sorry.
What's this?
That's
Yara?
no, I'm sorry.
So get your leadership. Month to date on the left, year to date on the right. Let's give a huge hand to all these groups. Stucktown in the day. Teams, month to date left, year to date right. Let's go to Susan. We'll get the side and hurry up, take a picture. Oh,
Alan.
Alan too. Let's go down here. Love it. Who else? Teams. What's next? Individuals. Mike Green. I see him in the back leading the month. 4 point. Gene, 3 million. Sarah down there. That's awesome. Huge shout out to Stella on the right. Let's give him another hand. All right. So we have a really cool announcement. You'll get all those slides, obviously, for team meeting recap. But we have a huge announcement that recently we partnered with Mutual of Omaha, who's also partnered with Keller Mortgage, Kelly Collins, which is so exciting. She's been a part of KW in our Somerville office in T for a long time, ever since it opened. Yeah. And we are so excited to have her in the ecosystem of Keller Mortgage Mutual of Omaha. And I'll let Kelly tell you more about how she can help. Let's give her a hand.
I've got just a little bit of information for y'all if y'all wanted to pick up something. We have an app. We have just some loan programs, but first about me. I have been real estate and finance adjacent for over 23 years. I started as a new home sales agent, so I've got a little bit of understanding what a lot of you go through every day, negotiating, all that kind of stuff. And then I actually was a certified financial planner for about 5 years before jumping back into mortgage because I missed working with all my realtors. So when we work through a loan, we really dive deep into somebody's goals, their personal finance, and we try to match somebody with just a mortgage, but a full plan. And so we work differently than just about everybody else out there. We give strategies to everybody and we do true partnerships. There are several Keller Williams agents in this area that we have really strong relationships with. They know they can call me day or night. I turn things around quick. And so what we're looking to do with this partnership, because it is new to the Charleston area, I'm sure you've heard about it at some of the big nationwide Keller Williams events, but I want your feedback. I want you to tell me what you want from me so that we can make this one of the best partnerships ever and how we can really support your business to grow. So we teach education a lot, but everybody wants more than just education. So I'm going to be reaching out to everybody, if you don't mind, and seeing if we can have little coffee meetings and either small groups or whatever, and we really want your feedback on how we can help you grow your businesses and be that real partner. Because the whole point of this is for us to grow and to support you in ways that no other lender can. And I've just recently realized we've got our first 3 apps for Keller Mortgage and with the partnership. And oh my goodness, the rates are amazing. So and their fee, we ran the exact same apps against 2 other companies, and we're beating them by at least 0.5%. So great products, great everything. We are going to share about our products. We've got investor loans that nobody else can touch, up to 9 units. So if you work with a lot of investors, and then we're working on a great jumbo loan right now. So we've got all of it. Let us know. And our thing is customer service. Yes, sir.
One thing that you didn't mention, you have probably the national expert on reverse mortgages and reverse mortgages for purchase, Jerry Gardner. He's one of our clients, and he's a wealth of knowledge if you need a reverse or purchase, an HCM mortgage, which is a great way of helping seniors buy their next home.
Absolutely. So we've got Jerry, who we bring in a lot. Jerry and I actually do a lot of partnering. I have actually been teaching reverse for purchase CE classes here for a while. So that is also a great area. And again, it goes back to true strategy. And every single client gets a loan consult with all of their options and the explanation as to why this mortgage is good for them. Whether it's a reverse, an FHA, a VA, whatever, we really focus on making sure everybody understands the process, because you would be surprised. I have a doctor right now buying his 4th home over $1 million, and he is so confused, has no clue about anything, because nobody ever sat down to walk him and his wife through it. And so we don't do that. We make sure everybody understands everything up front. And you're copied on it. So all kinds of stuff. But I've got all the customer service background. We've got it. We love Keller Williams, been part of it for a while. And so when I reach out, if you don't mind answering my call, and let's get together and do some coffee. So because we really want some great feedback. But any other questions for me? Thank you. All right.
Awesome. Kelly might not even know this, but over the last 4 months, we've been talking with Mutual of Omaha and a couple of other individuals about how to create a great partnership like we have now created. And Kelly was the first individual that we mentioned that we should go and talk to. So, and it was all based off of her consumer experience, the way she treats agents, the way that she looks at consumers and goes through a process based on their goals. So we're really excited for this partnership. You're going to see a lot more about what this partnership is going to bring to the agent base. And we're excited for it. So let's get Kelly. What's next? Family reunion. Stella.
I haven't been over to this office.
Well,
That's crazy. So hi. That's Ashley World, and I needed to be over here, so that's good.
What are we doing?
Yeah, so let's talk about this. I thought you were gonna ask me questions, but I guess
I have to ask you a question.
Saying why you love it, why they should go. So I have been to family reunion, I think 5 out of the 7 years that I've lived at Keller Williams, that I've been. It is single-handedly like one of the best things that I do for my business. The first few years that I went, I thought it was really great because I learned a lot. There's so many breakout sessions that you can't even, you're like scrambling around trying to figure out which one's the most important to you. There's so much great information. In the last year, I've built such a big network. I've got like 600 people that I've built into a huge nationwide network that I use to trade off referrals with. And so the last time I went, I really actually didn't go to very many of the workshops. And I really spent the whole time like Mike Green, like really getting in there and networking with other agents all over the country. And it has, 30% of my business this year has come from referrals. And I was in the top, whatever, can't believe I'm still there. It's been a slow couple of months. But I would say hands down, if you are at all considering going, I know it's a hike to get to Las Vegas or Anaheim. This is right in your backyard. Make the effort, put a little bit of money aside from every transaction from now until when you
when it's time to go, and you will see it pay dividends in your business. So
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Low Country Food Bank, I know we have talked about this. We have boxes now in West Ashley, Mount Pleasant. I have one for IOP with me today, so can take that to your office. Please promote this. This is a great opportunity to reach out to your clients for a non-real estate. Realize the camera's that close. Real estate related touch. And it's also just a great way to give back to our community. Our goal is 5,000 pounds. I know we're gonna pass that, but 5,000 is our goal that we have set. And you can have your clients come in, or you can also bring them in for your clients, but we'll have them in all of our major locations. Also, Homestead is participating as well. So, if they live up in Somerville, they can drop them off in one of the Somerville locations. Just let us know they'll be headed there, and we'll make sure they can get in. So, excellent. Launch week. Launch week is from, well, no, now I'm going on to my Ignite talk already. Launch week is meeting the whole leadership team, the ins and outs of all things KW to all things MLS. Shenandoah is teaching. So if you need a refresher on MLS or how to use some of the tools and resources in there, come to that day. You don't have to attend the whole thing. Come to what you need. And then mindset to begin and end with Stephen and Vince. And then finance. Thank you.
Finance, I'm not gonna leave finance out. Lending 101, all the things. So please, 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 if you have anyone that's newer to the organization on your team, or you yourself are new, please sign up for launch week. I can't stress how important it is to get started off on the right foot. So and then Ignite, that leads me to Ignite. So Ignite is from start to finish, how to get transactions to close it. And all the steps in between. So we have fantastic instructors that teach this, Shantae and Beck, and Sarah Waycaster. And I believe our last one will be November, so for the year. So October, we have 2 opportunities. If you've not been through Ignite, please attend. And again, you don't have to attend the whole sessions. If you need a refresher on one specific thing, you can go to that class too, so. Jeff Glover, do you want to talk on this? I can. This is going to be at Charleston Marriott, 13 ways to take more listings this fall. He is one of the top agents and coaches in the business. He's still in production himself, so he walks the walk, talks the talk. I know a lot of people go to his conventions and conferences. This is a huge opportunity that he's going to be actually here in Charleston. If you've not signed up, please do so. This will sell out. And people outside of KW are signing up as well. So please get your tickets.
Jeff Glover is one of the biggest differences with the Jeff Glover trainings is how tactical and implementable everything that he's giving you is. He's constantly hitting the phones, banging the pavement. He's out there still doing like 50, 100 listings a year while he's doing all of the training and all this other stuff. He's got things systematized and he's giving you all of that. So make sure to sign up. It's going to be a great day with Jeff Glover, that's for sure.
Yes, next one can. All right, Q3 market recap. We pack out the house every time for this one. This one is going to be at a different location. It's at D.R. Horton's headquarters off of Clements Ferry. Just to note, that is also in the Eventbrite, but this is something that you don't want to miss for listing presentations, working with your buyers. It goes through very tactical information on the past quarter to be able to use in your listing presentations, how to have those conversations because numbers aren't always something people feel comfortable talking in. So we have a lot of discussions about that. Is there anything you want to add to that?
It's not just about the numbers, right? We'll show the numbers, we'll have the numbers, we'll give the material and all the collateral material that comes with the presentation, the whole 9 yards. But we'll also have conversation and kind of mastermind about ways that we can articulate this information to clients. Different strategies that we can implement so that we can help clients with pricing their home the right way, the whole 9 yards.
Also, October 30th, Stephen, the economic lady, do you want to touch on her as well?
Oh, yeah.
A few years ago at Business Planning Clinic, we had her come speak. She's gonna be at quarter recap as well.
Yeah, so CRDA, the Charleston Regional Development Authority, they do a lot of business economic development type research. They're gonna be here talking about, hey, what's coming to Charleston essentially, and how can we help? We talk a lot about trying to make sure we connect with regional partners that's already doing the work, to make sure that you guys have more value. And so we're gonna continue this, and we thought this would be a great opportunity. So you'll get the market statistics, from the MLS side, but then you'll also get some of the regional stuff as well. And hopefully that'll help increase your business for 2026.
Awesome, thank you.
You're also.
Business Planning Clinic, I should add also a few other faces in there, which I will update Vince, Winnie. They have worked on revamping and adding new things into Business Planning Clinic. So I think it's gonna be really awesome. You want to touch more on this as well? It's November 5th, sorry, at Cooper River Room. It's gonna be a great day to gear up for 2026.
So we're gonna talk about a kind of an equation later that you can think about as you move into the business planning season. But we revamped it. It's from 10 to 3, so it's not a whole full day event like it used to be. And we're gonna go through still the economic model, the lead gen model, the budget model, and the organizational model, but in a different way than we've done it before. So make sure you attend. It's gonna be awesome. You're still gonna walk away at the end of the day with a 1-page business plan and a 411 and a time block calendar, the whole 9 yards, so that we can get into action, build the foundation here in the last 3 months, so that we can hit our goals in 2026. So it's gonna be a great day.
I did forget to mention, there's gonna be a happy hour after quarter recap meeting and a happy hour after this. So plenty of opportunities to learn and socialize with people.
And the QR code.
Yes. And then to follow up, Business Planning Clinic, Winnie is gonna be teaching how to profit and loss like an MREA. She's gonna go through exactly her models that she uses, how she tracks them, and how she puts it into action as well. I think this is a super needed, not a super, it's definitely needed. Class tactical application, after Business Planning
Can you
Clinic.
say the date? Lot.
It is November 10th. It's Monday, November 10th. Thanksgiving potluck. So we have this coming up, and I know y'all have seen this. We like to get it in front of you as many times as possible, so you too. November 20th, Alhambra Hall, and this is just a link to sign up to bring someone for the team meeting. We're super excited. Alhambra also got a brand new revamp, so we're excited to be back. And then Oyster Roast. So this is January 22nd, sorry. And it is at Magnolia Plantation again. Bands, the food is gonna be great. And then the company's gonna be even better. So, all right. Yes,
There be a client event this fall or not?
we are still working on that, Heidi. So we have a few.
Out on the last. two
Yes,
years.
I know. We have a few options we're still looking at. It's gonna definitely look different. Likely, we're still getting a few answers on that, so
Okay.
we'll get back to you on that.
Ultimately, we got pressed down in form,
Yeah,
by a lot, not just like
double.
one rings,
Double.
double, almost, like, it was a big.
Less.
increase.
Yeah,
And so the agent services team and the leadership team is working diligently to find other solutions, right? Like the water park earlier in the year, that was a great event. Definitely production and relationships created out of that. We're working diligently to find some solution, even though there were some cost barriers, so we're excited. Come on, Mike. All right. Ladies first. Derek, going through. So we were gonna talk about this last team meeting, but we added it back into that. And the reason is because I came across this, when did we see this? We saw this at a regional event. I had seen it years and years ago, and it really started to get me thinking about the planning year. Like we just did three months for 3 quarters, right? We're already into the 4th quarter, and we're probably all sitting here and evaluating how we've done so far through the year, right? How am I on track for my goal? Am I not on track for my goal? All of those, the answer to both of those answers is good, right? I might not be on track. It's still good. Now I get to solve that problem, right? I might be on track. Good, you're on track, right? And I came across this and I started to think about, well, what is performance, right? If I'm going to reflect on how I've done, right? What is it? Like, what is it an equation? Is there a model to it? And we ran across this. Performance equals potential minus interference. So if you take 2 seconds in your head, think about your performance, rate your performance on a scale of 1 to 10, based off of the first 3 quarters of the year. 1, not so good, but I'm still here. And 10, I'm crushing. I'm exceeding my expectations. I'm exceeding my goals. Don't use 7. Can't use 7, but you can use 6 or 8, right? Or 10, hopefully. Not 1 either. That's okay. So think about that number in your head, right? And then think about your potential. I look at this room and I just look at people in general. And what number comes to mind when you think about the potential of a human? 1 or 10? 10, right? 10. Everybody has the potential of a 10. Everybody has great potential. I believe in the inherent good in individuals. We can do anything we want, right? Assuming we learn how to do it, put our mind to it, focus, right? So I have my performance number. I know my potential number is a 10, and then you've got interference. So my performance is going to be my 10 potential minus whatever interference was created. So then we started to talk about what interference is. Do you have anything to say before we go into interference?
No, I'll just say, just in general, if you think about this, this equation, it's really how do we get our minds to start thinking from a reactionary mindset to intention. So as we go through it, just think that way and how you can apply that to your business.
That's right. I was having a conversation. I've talked about this before, but I had a conversation with Gary Keller, and he made one comment to me that has stuck with me for the last 4 months since I had it, 3 months since I had it, maybe 2 months. I don't know when it was, but since I had the conversation. And he said, "Don't succeed on your personality, succeed on your intention." And we tend to think that we need some big, massive change to get a big change in our result. That's actually not true. We can do one small intentional change that might add a 30 seconds to our day or 1 minute to our day. And that result be 2-3 times what we were currently getting. He gave a really cool story about his son. He said, "I was sick of my son always calling me and saying, 'Can you watch the kids on a Friday?' And it was Friday at noon." It's like I've had, knowing Gary Keller, he probably had that day and that afternoon planned for about 365 days prior, but it just jumps up on him. Well, the reason he really didn't like it was because he had to say no, and that wasn't showing his son love and support. And he wanted to spend time with his grandkids. So now what he does is on Sunday or Monday, he sends a text. How long does it take to send a text? A couple seconds. And he says, "Hey, John, anything I can do to support you and the family or the kids this week?" Now, number one, he doesn't have to say no anymore. If he says, "Can you watch the kids?" Number two, he doesn't have to have that feeling when he does say no, that he's no longer showing support and love. And lastly, he's not surprised. He doesn't like being surprised. So one small thing, one small intentional change completely changed the result, both for his son, the relationship with his son, and the result that he wanted. So when we think about these interference and some of the things that we talk about in interference, there are 5 F's, right? I don't want you to think that it has to be some big grand change. I've been in KW and in real estate now for 10 years. I can't tell you how many flashy things have come across my desk, and I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to go into, right? And every time, ask them, right? Every time we've done that, right, in a reactionary way, it has never helped the result. It was always responding, right, and appreciating that event plus response is going to equal my outcome, and making a small intentional change and optimizing what I'm currently doing that led to a 2, 3, 10x change in the result that I was getting out of the day. Never ended up being more time. It almost always ended up being less time. If you had never read it, 10X is better than 2X. It's a book by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. And it talks about how when we think about doubling our goal next year, I did 24 units, I'm going to do 48 this year. What is one of the first things that come to your mind? Let me go with a different number, 10 to 20. I'm going to double my business from 10 units to 20 units. It's the first thing that comes to your mind. How am I going to do it? How? Work harder is almost always the answer. I'm going to do more open houses. I'm going to make more calls. But if I was to say to you, I'm going to go from 10 units to 100 units, is the first thing that comes to mind more? Is the first thing that comes to mind, I have to work harder? The first thing that comes to mind is, well, if I just work harder, I'm still not going to, which forces us to think differently about our approach to that thing. What ends up happening is we start doing less of the things that don't matter and more of the one thing that does in pursuit of that 10X goal. It's not always do more. In my opinion, what I've learned over the last 10 years of being in this amazing KW family is it's actually about doing less and more of the right thing. And less of the stuff, I almost said something bad, the stuff that doesn't matter, right? So if we talk about interference, it's 5 F's. You want to talk about the first F?
Yeah, so fatigue. Yeah. I'm sure we all have it, right? And fatigue comes in so many different ways. It's not just physical, it's mental as well. And we as real estate agents know, not just us, but our clients and our consumers, right? Like at this point in really just our marketplace and economy and just how things are going, we have to be there for them, right? But you can't be there for them unless you're here for yourself. What does the fatigue look like with us? It's doing it's scaling back on the things that we know we should be doing. Exhaustion is not a badge of honor. It is not something that we should be like raising out, trying to get to. The hustle, the grind, all of those things. They sound great, but the real flex per se is really the balance. The balance that you're able to do some things, make a healthy living, meet your goals, but then also be able to be disciplined enough to wake up every day and take care of the tasks that need to be done. From a fatigue standpoint, I think the biggest thing for us in this 5Fs, we'll continue to go through, but it's like, well, how do you recognize when you are at a fatigue level? And then what do you do about it? We'll talk through it, but the main pieces is just one, understanding and recognizing and acknowledging, taking accountability. We all should have an accountability partner, some way, somehow. It's not in real estate, even on the personal level. Make sure you have an accountability partner, but then make sure you have an outlet. That's how you get out of fatigue, is to make sure you have a release somewhere and something outside of real estate. Make it a hobby or something of that sort, but make sure it takes your mind off it. And that way, again, and it's something that you can be consistent with. If you don't like it, you're not going to be consistent with it. So same thing in real estate. We got to make sure that we recognize it and take that approach.
Yeah, in the fatigue, when I think about fatigue, you got physical fatigue, right? And that's go take a nap, right? Yet fatigue to me is much greater in I need rest. And typically rest means I need to get away from the works, right? In a positive way. Or I need to just realign, right? In the back of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, I think it's like 308 or something along those lines, is the energy plan. Every one of us wakes up in the morning and we do a couple of things. We brush our teeth, we might grab a cup of coffee, right? We actually have a system that we follow when we wake up. What's the result of that system? When we leave the door, there's a result that happens after we do all those things. It's our energy, right? If I don't necessarily like the energy that I leave the house with in the morning every day, I should think about a small change in my morning routine. Maybe instead of scrolling social media, I pick up the John Maxwell Daily Reader and read one page of leadership golf. Takes about 3 minutes. I do it most mornings. And the feeling I get from that is much different than the feeling I get from looking anything on the social medias and anything that has to do with news, right? Very, very different feeling. Does that impact my energy that I leave the house with? Heck yeah, right? So again, just an example of a small change to help combat one of the biggest impediments to actually be fatigue, right? Fear and anxiety. Talk about that.
Yeah, again, Kenya already says, yeah, something we all have, but so fear and anxiety, fear is something that it's a feeling we all have. We all face anxiety. These are two things that in the real estate industry we see a lot more of, and which is why we've been really trying to focus on the mental health of real estate agents. But fear is, so if we go back to Vince's example, it's like, hey, I want to go from 10 to 20. Well, you know, you might like say, hey, I want to work harder, but some people also have the negative effect. It's a fear piece. How am I going to do it? And what happens if I don't? So that goal has to be, you know, audacious enough to say, hey, if I don't meet this, then what's the consequence? The problem is we don't usually have a consequence. It's just that I don't meet it, right? And is that acceptable? Like, is that the standard that we're, you know, holding ourselves to? That's what we have to think about. So when we do get to that point of that discipline piece, it does give a lot of fear and anxiety. Again, having that outlet. How do we get rid of that? Well, we start to track things. What gets measured gets managed, right? So you track things. You make sure that you have an accountability piece, but then you also make sure that, again, like when you get to a point, say we're here at fourth quarter. How was your first 3 quarters? Well, guess what? It's a new quarter. If you didn't make it, great. We got another chance to restart and do something different the next for this next quarter. The anxiety piece, it's just a feeling that finds certain people, gets certain people very tense, but at the same time, celebrate your small wins. That's how you get over the fear. That's how you get over the anxiety. Don't compare yourself to other agents to say, hey, I'm not doing what they're doing, so you know I'm a failure. No, that's not what it means. Failure is just a data point. It is not, you know, your destination. It's not the end. So you want to make sure that, again, you're thinking about things. It's all about perspective. We tell consumers to, hey, don't look at the interest rates as that's a barrier. Look at it as, hey, it's lower than it's ever been, right? For the last for decades. It's still not rent, which is 100%. It's perspective, right? So you have to change your perspective on fear and anxiety and how you manage it.
I love that. And I'd say, to me, there's 2 types of fear. There's rational and irrational, right? Rational fear, think about it, is based on logic, right? Like, there's a lot of examples of that, and typically that's going to be solved by training or learning, right? Or developing a skill set. Whereas then you've got emotionally based fear, irrational fear, right? Those are things like, I can't make any calls because I don't want to inconvenience X, Y, and Z, right? Is that true? I don't know. Is that more about you than it is about them? 100%, right? What is the one small thing you can do to overcome an irrational fear, which we all have, by the way?
Just do it.
Do it. Exposure. Have you ever thought about, I was thinking about this, so I'm trying to think of an example, but think about something that you've done for the very first time, right? Did you absolutely stink at it? Probably. I went country dancing.
That is a
Watch
bad
this.
visual.
This is gonna be funny. I went, okay, right?
Yeah.
Think about me walking into a country bar in shorts and a polo, right?
No.
Yeah, I want you to think about that.
Boy.
All I needed was a cowboy hat. There's all these people dancing. Well, it looked darn fun. I'm not Alan Donald. I'm a real good dancer. Nor am I dressed the part with cowboy boots and a big sombrero, right? However, I knew I was going to look like an absolute goofball. Yet it looked really fun, and I wanted to try it. Do you think there's fear in, man, they're going to look at me and think I'm big? Yeah, there absolutely is. Guess what I'm going to do? In a month, I'm going back there. I'm going to be the best dancer ever. Because I did it the first time, and it really wasn't nothing. All of it was emotional fear. It was all irrational fear of how somebody judged me. But I just wanted to go dance, even though I'm terrible at it, right? How many times do we hold back ourselves from doing something that could really bring joy to our life or make our life very different. Just because we're afraid of how we look. Just because we're afraid of the judgment. Is that emotional or logical? That's emotional. Because 99% of the time, none of it is actually happening. They don't care. Nobody probably even noticed that well, they've definitely noticed I didn't think right? But they didn't care. They just appreciated that everybody's there having a good time. We do this in our real estate businesses all the time. We don't just make that call because we're afraid of some emotional thing that isn't even true. It's just true to us, but it's not true to them. That's also not fair to them to even put what we think they should think on them, right? So exposure and thought and honestly therapy and talking to people, things of that nature, are the ways that we can break through emotional fear or irrational fear. Logical or rational fear, that's just going to get broken through by, hey, I want to go from 10 to 20 deals. I don't know how. That's logical. Maybe you really don't know how. But I can tell you right now, I'm looking in the room, you can see a few people, a lot of people in here that have sold more than, that have gone from 10 to 20 units. They know how. They did it. Go talk to them. That's a training thing, right? Does that make sense? You with me? Or are you still thinking about new country dance? Yeah. Finance is a good one. You want to talk to that one?
Yeah, just pretty simple. I always say everybody thinks of finance, or most people think of finance, and you automatically think money, right? But money really shouldn't be the mission. Money, it's freedom. Like money is a tool. And the way that they describe it in the 5 F's is living a lifestyle and a legacy. So how much money do you need to live to live? And then for the lifestyle piece, how much money do you need to continue your lifestyle or sustain it, get to where you want to go? But then also the legacy piece, how much do you want to be able to leave behind? And what do you want to be able to leave behind? How much money do you need to do that? And so if we think about things in those 3 levels, where would you see yourself? Do you see yourself even thinking about legacy right now? Maybe some people may not. Some people are at a level where it's like, hey, I'm just trying to live. At this point, it's just check to check, right? Paycheck to paycheck, closing to closing. Consumers, our clients, they are at that level. They might not be in the lifestyle where they get the opportunity to have the freedom to get up and do what they want. So we have to think about, hey, how many deals obviously will help us get there? What does that look like? But then what does it do for your life? Don't start a goal with $100,000 or any kind of monetary goal without having an attachment to it at the end. Because what does success look like? And then when you get there, what does it do for you? Because if my goal was 250, I made it, but I struggled the entire time. I don't have a good mental health. Was it really satisfying? Did I really meet my goal? Did I really succeed? So reevaluating those things and how you look at money makes a difference.
Money is good for the good it can do. The way we think, like how we see things is how we see things. Our perspective is our perspective. When we change our perspective on something, then the way in which we act toward that thing is going to be different. With me? If I think about money as something I need or something that kind of is a trap or it's frustrating or it's stressful, do you think it's always going to be stressful? If I think about it as a means to create freedom or good for what it can do for me, my family, and others, do you think I'll approach it differently? Say yes, right? It's how we see things. How do we change our perspective of things? And the buckets, right? A P&L. Who has a, I'm gonna put everybody on the spot. Watch this. Awesome. I hate this answer. Raise your hand if you have a P&L. Profit and loss. Yep. Great. That is a way better group. Taxes. We just did taxes. That's why. Right.
There's still 6.
Yeah. A profit and loss statement. We're doing the business plan. Winnie's doing a course on profit and loss. It sounds like something goofy, right? It sounds like, oh, that's going to be boring. Think about if I was to truly run on a weekly and monthly basis a profit and loss statement, would I have more or less anxiety just knowing? Some might say more anxiety because now I know it's real bad, right? Or do now you know and you can make a change? When I don't know about something, I cannot make a change. I don't know where to change. That's the beauty of, say, a simple P&L. that's gonna remove this impediment to action. Finance. Then we have focus. Want to talk to focus real quick?
Yeah, focus is essentially it talks about just subconscious, the 5 F's. It really talks about the subconscious is essentially it's pretty much like Google. Like what you type into it is what you get, is what you keep. And so if you think about your mind, what you say you don't want, is actually still in your mind. It's actually still in your heart, your brain, like the way that you operate. So you have to start changing the words that you say, speaking life into things, because what you focus on expands, right? But then what you feed grows. So the more that you feed positivity into your situation, your business, your clients, the more that you will have that and attract that. The biggest thing here is that we often lose focus because we're so distracted by other things, right? How many times are we have a daily calendar, a daily schedule. How many times do you get off track, right? Because you lose focus because of other things. But how many of us have the discipline to get back on track? And what does that look like, right? What's that process? So the focus piece is really key. It's not just what you're saying you don't want, but also focusing on what you do want and expanding it and really developing a plan to get there.
Focus is one of the hardest things, right? Right. Like it's gonna wax and wane. It's going to wax and wane. The law of diminishing intent simply tells us that the energy level that we have when we set a goal and set out for a goal will be higher than it is 3 months down the road when we're pursuing that goal. It will be. One of the easiest ways, though, to maintain that same energy level is to remember why the heck we were doing it in the first place. That's why just setting an arbitrary $100,000 goal is very difficult to stay focused on, because it's going to get hard. What is it that I truly want? What's the money figure that that's going to create for me? And why do I really want it? And how do I remind myself of that every day in pursuit of this, so that when it does get hard, which I promise you it will, absolutely promise you it will, I maintain that energy level. I look at things differently, and I focus on the path to get around the option and see it as an opportunity to get better, as compared to look at that obstacle as a roadblock I ain't getting through. Has anybody ever gone skiing?
No,
How about anybody ever drive?
unfortunately.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna go to this example. I used this morning with somebody, right? We've driven a car, I know, or maybe if you have a license, right? Have you ever gone through any construction areas? Yeah, there's usually cones all over the place. Have you ever looked at those cones and then realized that now all of a sudden I'm in the cones? You realize you're starting to go toward them? Or is that just me?
Oh, I pay attention.
Yeah,
What do they call it, a horse?
no, that's good.
Yeah.
My point exactly. Look at what we focus on expands. When we're looking at the obstacles, we tend to get stuck by the obstacles. When we look at the obstacles and realize there's a path next to it, we focus on the path past the obstacles, right? We go past the obstacles. It's like skiing. You don't ski and look at the trees. You ski and focus on the white snow in front. And there's always a way. There is always a path somewhere. Always. You just have to look hard enough to find it and keep your focus and your eyes on the path and not on everything else, all the chaos that is going to be around. It's one of the hardest things to do, which is why it's so important to have some purpose behind you that's big enough to make you maintain that focus when it does get hard, right? And then lastly, we've got failure.
Yeah, and goes right from focus. It's all about perspective. It's how you see it. So, or you said, failure is not a data point. It is a data point. It's not a destination, but failure is also feedback. If you think about it, it tells you what I need to do the next time, or how can I learn from this? It's an opportunity to learn. So it's how you see the things that you're going through. It's how you see that closing that didn't close, or that buyer that didn't get the closing, or that the deal fell through. Why did it fall through? How? what are some of the things that I can put into place next time to make sure that doesn't happen? Or is, what can I go over with in my buyer consultations to make sure they have the education on this? Or what changes have now been made on the listing side? Just different things. It's how you see it. So failure, and you have to realize and think about yourself how you internalize failure. And is it a fuel as an opportunity to the next thing? Are you going to use it as fuel? Or are you going to use it to, to really kind of decrease your mental health sense, to push you down even further? So how you use it matters. That's the biggest thing that it talked about in the 5S, but it does not have to be the end. And I think a lot of real estate agents, especially newer real estate agents, or really trying to anybody challenging this crazy market, see a lot of things as failures. But you have to remember that these are opportunities. You have the people around you that help you figure things out. That's the other thing too. I think going back to fear and anxiety, is really that some people just feel alone, like you don't have help. There's plenty of people in this room that will help you. You have the leadership team, you have the, we have CDP, if you're in CDP, we have all these different things, all these different tools, resources at KW at your fingertips, but you have to utilize them. So don't take failure as, hey, this is the end all be all for me. Take it as, hey, I'm gonna do something about it next time. And
And I think failure is one of the coolest things. I think that's just perspective. Have you ever set out to do something that you've never done before, and then weighed out a plan to do it, and then hit it exactly as the plan you wrote? I haven't. It's always gotten a mess in between. Because you never did it before. We set a plan, we're gonna do it with zero margin of error. That's a little unfair to ourselves. If we knew how to do it, we would have already done it. And the only way that now I can know I don't know how to do it fully to get the result I intended was because I just didn't get it yet. Failure is only failure when you stop it. That's the best thing about failure. Failure is just a data point. It's an opportunity for us to get better. When you think about failure as an opportunity to get better, then everything in life just becomes about getting better. It's no longer about getting the end result. It's about getting better. I have a coach that says to me, the game is all about incrementally increasing your character by 1% each day. If I incrementally increase my character by 1% each day, what's going to happen? Am I going to overcome new things that I had never overcome before? Of course, that could be something as small as I'm fearful of making calls, so I made one today. Is that a win? I made one call, even though I wanted to make 20, but I was scared out of my pants, but I did make one. Is that a huge win? That's huge. That is incrementally increasing my character and keeping a promise to myself. When you keep a promise to yourself, that also overcomes a lot of these things. Because it's like, oh, wow, I do believe that I'll do that. Right? Does that make sense? And there's a great story about Thomas Edison. We've all heard this part about how he found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb, right? However, there's another story about how his son came to him and said, hey, the building, the factory that you just spent your entire life building is on fire. No. So they run down there. No, it's crazy. They run down there, right? And he's standing at this fire. It's gone. It's gone. There ain't no way this thing's getting back. And he says to his son, hey, go get your mother and all of her friends. This is the greatest fire we'll ever see. What? And then what's he do? He gets a loan from Ford, rebuilds the factory, and in a very short amount of time, I don't remember the months, pays him back, and it's bigger than it ever had been. It's factory. Not because he said, oh no, my life work is all to the ground. He said, holy, look at that fire. You got to see this thing. Because he knew that this is just an opportunity to get better. I've already made 1,000 light bulbs or 999 that didn't work. I can do anything. Failure gives you confidence. Overcoming failure and seeing it as an opportunity to get better gives you confidence that makes you unbeatable. We've been in this thing for 10 years. I look at Tiffany, right? We basically been together for 20 years. I go home with it, right? You think we failed? I know you know we failed. You tell us. We screw up all the time. And we also rush it. Sometimes. Sometimes. Very rare. Every once in a blue moon. Right? Why? Because we adapt. Because we know what we want to do. We want to serve. All of those things, right? We don't look at failure as a failure. We look at it as an opportunity to figure out how to make it even better. Right? Does all that make sense? Awesome. Is that all we have?
Yes.
Was this good?
Oh, one last,
One last thing.
Oh,
Oh, don't forget about this.
yeah, of course. We are always available to help you all, you know, with some business consulting, just figuring out, hey, where am I at? Where do I, you know, where we're trying to, obviously, we do have the business planning coming up. So please make sure you guys attend that, but those are our QR codes for our calendar. Last thing I want to update you guys on, this will be coming out, this is like really hot off the press. So, I think I told you before, the forms are changing again.
Yay, that's so
Yeah, I
much
know, this
fun.
is great news, right?
Every time you get to use to one, it just.
Forms are changing. The state contract is changing. There's 3 sections that are being more clarified. Section 6, the transaction costs. It's really about the special assessments piece. They're just adding some clarity there. The CO 100 piece, section 11, that is changing. It is clarifying what's needed. Essentially, the clearance letter is needed to satisfy this contingency. I don't think we've ever had that clarity before. And you know, basically that how somebody can get out. So there's some language going in there about the wood infestation report section, and then just some clarity to the adjustments on prorations in the adjustment section. So very simple changes to the contract, but again, it is changing. This will probably be probably December-ish, after the board meeting in November, but the draft is already out. So there'll be lots of training, lots of different things. And also the listing agreement. So the listing agreement is now, there's a couple different sections, but some of the main things, one is now, it will say that we have to have written permission from the listing agent or from the seller to make any price adjustments. So if you decrease or if you increase, you have to have it in writing from the owner that is specified in listing agreement. It also specifies the total, and this has been a big thing over the state. In section 2, where we put the total brokerage fee, it now says this is the total brokerage fee, even if the buyer is unrepresented. This has nothing to do with if we still have the compensation to the other broker section. That piece is still there, but this is the total fee. So there's no confusion on, hey, if you know there's an unrepresented buyer, I don't get the full fee. It's very explicit. So a lot of different changes. To me, I think some of these changes help us as much more than the consumer, but it's just a lot of clarity things. These will be coming out again probably by December. But just want to keep you all fresh that things are changing. But anything else, and we're getting a lot of good feedback from people and practically doing contracts and doing work. So if you see anything or know of anything that you're like, hey, maybe this could be better, or maybe this needs to be explained a little more, please let me know. If you don't know, I'm the president-elect at the Realtor Association, so I will help try to get this to the right places, to the forms committee, so they can help get some things done. The forms are at the state. I'm also on the state board as well. So anything you guys need, I would greatly appreciate that we get your feedback. And one last thing I will say from the state level, we expected a 10% decrease in membership this year as a whole. So we have about 30,000 members in the state. We have about 6,500-ish at Charleston Tri-State Association Realtors, and we have only seen to date a 1.6 or 7% decrease. That is amazing and shows shows a lot of different things for us, but on the state level and also at a local level too. So people are not exiting the business as much as we thought, and or people are coming into the business. So it could be both ways, but we are standing strong with our membership and really continue to show our value. So please, 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 not just leverage our KW training and resources, but please leverage the resources that the Realtor associations from the local and the state are giving you, because it's very valuable. That's all I have.
The very last congratulations I want to give KW and the agent base is I just saw something the other day and was I forgot to tell them about this. Was in Real Trends, this company that rates a bunch of stuff, and pulling up this picture, which I can't find.
Here he is.
This here, here it is. You got it. And recently, like the other day, the West Ashley office, given its growth over the last 5 years, was just named in Real Trends as the #8 fastest growing brokerage in the United States.
Wow. Well.
You're not me. Like, for the love of Pete, that's some wild stuff. I can't tell how much we failed, and I'm telling you how we're winning. This is awesome, right? And what's so cool about this is that's you. That's not the leadership team. That's not KW. That's you. You grow. You increasing your GCI, your volume, the amount of people that you serve, right? #8. 178%. Oh, or does that say 9? 178%. We lost the number 7 by like 2%. That's annoying. But that's unbelievable. So you're just gonna see more about it, but I just wanted to give you a huge congratulations, 2, a thank you for being a part of this amazing, amazing ecosystem that we call KW, that we love so much, and that we work our tails off, all of us work our tails off to represent in a great way. So a huge thank you. I'm truly humbled to be a part of it, and congratulations. Go ahead and get on those.
Steven's running for president too, guys, just so y'all know. I'll turn this off.
How? She was under Chicago this year. Who's that?
Okay, sorry. Miss, you put that out.